The sniper carefully aimed at his target, and just seconds later, the gunfire erupted, and all the enemies were shot down. This is a war film. Let's begin the movie. In 2014, Russia and Ukraine clashed over the Crimean War. A physics teacher named Mykola took his wife to a remote hillside in Donbass to escape the conflict. The family lived carefree days. That day, he went to the lecture hall as usual, only to find it deserted. He learned from the news on TV that their area had been taken over by the enemy. Mykola had a bad feeling and frantically cycled back home. Sure enough, upon arriving home, he found two soldiers molesting his pregnant wife. Mykola rushed to stop them but was immediately thrown aside. Before he could even get up, a cold gun barrel was pointed at him. Mykola was helpless. All he could do was shout in anger. The two soldiers suspected him of being a spy, but after searching the house, they found no evidence. Enraged, they set fire to their home. As they were leaving, Mykola's furious wife, unable to contain her anger, picked up a stone and threatened to attack the two soldiers. As expected, Mykola, heartbroken and helpless, embraced his wife's body. His house was engulfed in flames, the fire burning not only the house but also his heart. When two Ukrainian volunteer soldiers arrived, they helped Mykola bury his wife and brought him back to the military camp. Burdened with the hatred for his wife's murder, Mykola decided to join the local armed forces. He vowed to avenge her death in this lifetime. At first, Mykola couldn't keep up with the training pace. His physical fitness was lacking, and even disassembling and assembling a rifle was a mess. He wasn't even as good as a female soldier. But Mykola didn't give up. Every time he closed his eyes, the tragic death of his wife flashed before him. This desire for revenge was the only thing that kept him strong. If he couldn't do as well as others, he would persevere in training every day. 100 push-ups, 300 weightlifting, hundreds of rifle disassembly and assembly practice, and then frantically practicing attack drills. Day after day, this cycle repeated until Mykola became a standard soldier. That day, his superiors came to the camp to select the most elite soldiers to join the sniper team. Mykola volunteered, wanting to join, but was met with ridicule from his commander, who said he didn't even know how to disassemble an AK rifle stock, such a basic skill, and yet he dared to be a sniper. But Mykola soon proved his worth. He assembled the rifle in a lightning-fast 18 seconds. Mykola himself broke the company's record. From then on, Mykola was selected to train in the sniper corps. There, besides physical training, they also had to study marksmanship theory. A physics teacher like Mykola, of course, would always provide the most accurate answers, even before the teacher finished writing the problem. However, he was still an outsider, which made many envious, even when they were issued rifles. His comrades all chose the excellent Soviet SVD Dragunov rifle, while he was only given an old, semi-automatic SKS. Its power and range were certainly not as good as the others. As expected, Mykola missed his target during training, which gave his envious companions a good laugh. But he didn't get angry. Instead, he trained even harder. He stayed up late practicing alone. Finally, he hit the target and officially became a sniper. However, a successful sniper must meet standards in every aspect. To train the sniper's psychological resilience and intense concentration. To become a successful sniper, the most important thing is to maintain composure. The trainer fires his weapon right next to them, so even the slightest evasive movement will eliminate them from the formation. Not only that, the commander uses a board to obscure their line of sight. Under such blind spots, they must still ensure they hit their target. After months of arduous training, Mykola finally graduated from the professional sniper course. He received his first combat mission, eliminating enemy forces occupying their base. The next day, Mykola went with his captain, ambushing in the tall grass from early morning. After determining the number and location of the enemy, they discovered another difficult problem. Not only were the enemy numerous, but they were also holding hostages. The captain, without panicking, adjusted his aim and targeted the nearest guard. The captain gave the order, and the entire team pulled the trigger, and two snipers were shot down. Soon after, more than half of the enemy had been eliminated. One enemy soldier seized a hostage and ran to hide behind a vehicle. But the next second, he fell before the captain's steady, cold gun barrel. His comrades rushed in and finished him off. At the same time, a terrifying figure appeared on the battlefield. CA. He was the ace sniper in the enemy's squad. He had been lying in ambush in the sand for 3 days. Two Ukrainian snipers were lying on the sand. Although they were almost completely camouflaged, CA still spotted them. He turned on his camera to record the sniping process, adjusting his aim and precisely targeting his objective. He then disseminated a video of his sniping on social media. Mikola saw his comrade's body for a moment, and the flames of revenge flared up again. To regain his spirits, Mikola and his teammates set off once more. It was still dark, but they braved the thick fog to ambush enemy positions. They concealed the fuses with a yellow leaf, then placed a large number of explosive bombs under the leaf. They ambushed from a distance and waited for the enemy to appear. Not long after, as expected, the enemy soldiers appeared. Mikola began counting down, seized the moment, and fired a shot that hit the leaf. Then the bombs exploded one after another. In less than 5 minutes, Mikola and his teammates had eliminated all the enemies, completing one mission after another. Mikola continuously accumulated experience. However, unexpected events still occurred. That day, Mikola and his team leader went on a mission together. This time, the captain assigned Mikola the task of observation. The enemy had reinforced their forces, deploying 5 camouflaged military tanks that had just arrived in Crimea. The two tried to eliminate the enemy commander. At that moment, a tank was parked nearby, and 2 soldiers disembarked to relieve themselves. Mikola recognized these 2 as the men who had murdered his wife. In that instant, Mikola suppressed his anger and immediately reported to the captain that he had spotted the target and requested permission to fire. The captain argued that the 2 enemy soldiers were too exposed and would easily be discovered. Therefore, he refused Mikola's order to fire and ordered him to continue observing. But Mikola didn't listen. Mikola shot down one of them. The other hid behind a tree, not daring to move. At that moment, Mikola was unaware of how dangerous the situation was. The captain's guess was correct. The enemy also had snipers ambushing nearby. CA was hiding in the grass. He located them and fired a shot, killing the captain. Luckily, Mikola managed to hide in a pre-dug trench. But the captain was gone forever. Returning to the camp and facing his commander's questioning, Mikola constantly blamed himself. But now it was too late for regrets. The battle between the top snipers began from here. This was a duel between 2 super snipers. They remained motionless for hours. The enemy sniper was hiding in a pile of garbage. Just as he was about to retreat, Mikola discovered his position. Mikola fired, hitting him on the first try. But the enemy wasn't finished. There were other snipers in the house. The enemy shot Mikola in the arm, but he remained motionless. Then, another shot blew the enemy's head off. Time and time again, under such brutal and arduous conditions, Mikola gradually became Ukraine's top sniper. Returning to base, he hadn't even had time to rest when the commander summoned the sniper team for an urgent meeting. The target this time was the enemy's ace sniper, CA. CA's reputation was already well known. He was famous for his decisive actions, even live streaming his sniping on the internet, a truly boastful and flamboyant individual. Intelligence indicated that the enemy had occupied a chemical plant as a temporary command post, and it was highly likely CA was hiding inside. However, because it contained a large quantity of toxic chemicals, they couldn't use bombs to blow it up, as the release of these toxins would contaminate the surrounding land and air. 8 enemy snipers were positioned around the chemical plant. To eliminate CA, Mikola had to sneak into the plant first. Then, while CA was still unaware, he had to take down the 8 snipers outside. The sniper team quickly launched their operation. By 3 a.m., they had ambushed within an 800-meter radius of the plant. Meticulously observing the situation inside, Mikola fitted a silencer to his rifle. After 3 hours of ambushing and maneuvering, he finally managed to enter the plant. Inside, besides CA and the 8 known snipers, there were also snipers number 1 and 2 hiding. They were also waiting for an opportunity to attack. Mikola then informed his teammates outside, who, having prepared, unleashed a frenzied barrage of gunfire. While Mikola was inside the factory, they quickly took down several patrols, effectively disrupting the sniper's judgment. Sniper number 1 unfortunately took a hit. Sniper number 2, receiving no response, began patrolling the factory. CA, panicking from repeated calls, went outside to assess the situation. Upon entering, he discovered his teammates had all been shot. He immediately returned to his position, unaware that Mikola was lying in ambush. Mikola pulled out a knife and jumped down, stabbing CA in the chest. This time, CA was killed. Mikola also took his watch as a trophy. With only 1 sniper left, Mikola threw a grenade inside. Before he could leave, enemy reinforcements arrived. When the truck reached the factory, Mikola found a vantage point, joined forces with his comrades, grabbed CA's Barrett rifle, and shot down the commander-in-chief sitting in the truck. The soldiers on the truck immediately jumped out to engage, throwing numerous smoke bombs to create cover. But the Ukrainian snipers were quicker. In the thick smoke, The enemy was defeated. The battle ended in minutes. Mikola had completed another important mission. He walked alone on the wilderness. Although revenge had been taken, the road ahead was still long. The war was not over, and it had only just begun. The movie ends here. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.